I'll try to resist the urge to make Bane from Batman references. Bane is a big guy in this patch. Well, actually he's got like a 45% win rate and is generally considered pretty shit. But maybe it's because everyone is bad but us? Let's go with that. Bane ends up being like a jack of all trades and a master of none. He has no answer to magic damage dealers and he's all single target. He's got nowhere to farm. His 5-second stun is a cancelable channel. And yet, I'm making a guide and saying that he's a beast. I wonder what sort of mental gymnastics I'm about to do to justify that claim. First off, pick Bane against the carry medic combos, all of them. So that's Io, Oracle, Wyvern, Dazzle. In fact, it might just be his most underappreciated utility. Nightmare the medic, kill the carry, or Nightmare the carry, kill the unprotected medic. But obviously he's the best against extremely mobile heroes that just need to be locked down, if only for a split second. Timbersaw, Storm, Weaver to an extent, but I'll explain the hesitation in a bit. Under that are just heroes who have 5 seconds where they absolutely have to not be stunned or else they crumble. Elsie's the classic with Jewel. You've all seen it. But there's also Juggernaut, or Wind Ranger with Windrun, or Abaddon with his ult. Although you have to wait for his ult to come up and then Nightmare him, because if you Nightmare him before his ult, he just uses his ult to break the Nightmare, which is a thing that you can do. You'd know that if you'd looked at my Abaddon guide. And then of course, Nightstalker. He merely adopted the darkness. On the flip side though, we have the obvious PL, CK, Naga, TB quartet. Same goes for Meepo, Beastmaster, and then we have Razor. Sort of on the same line of thinking as the previous, the fact that Bane is all single target means that if you were to use all 4 spells on Razor, you'd proc Unstable Current 4 times, plus he can steal more damage than he can enfeeble away from you. But honestly, all of that was just wasted breath, because the one thing that eclipses all of these counters can be seen in theoretically every single game. Lotus Orb! And I'll explain why. But first, let me explain the spells we're about to get thrown back at us. Here's the skill build. Most of it's pretty clear. Pick up more points or less points and enfeeble according to how easily you're winning mid. Oh, yeah. I forgot to say. We're going mid. Speaking of Enfeeble, Enfeeble is a negative Chrysalis in terms of damage. In fact, with Bane's really high base damage, plus maybe a null talisman, you enter this perfect zone of being able to last hit 2 hits before the enemy can. In every laning stage of every game, hitting that mark is the maximum of how much you can win the lane. It's honestly a pretty simple spell. It's a sniper's attack range, cast range, it's undispellable, it's cheap, it lasts 20 seconds, it's got an 8-second duration. Brain Sap's pure damage, every cast deals damage and heals, so the differential you'll make between Bane and his target is doubled. It also always heals for the full amount, even if the target was like 1 HP. Nightmare is a stun, I think? But it's also a save. I don't know what Nightmare is. When writing this guide, I had a nightmare about Nightmare because I went to bed trying to get my head around it. Nightmare can be cast on anything, and is a 7-second stun. But anyone who attacks the Nightmare unit takes the Nightmare, unless the damage was dealt by a spell. Nightmare on an enemy completely removes all of their hero's vision, and when Nightmare is transferred, the duration is refreshed, including the 1-second invulnerability, which means that you can effectively jump it between 2 heroes to dodge all damage until the end of time. I mean, watch this. Okay, and finally, Fiend's Grip is a 5-second stun as long as Bane keeps channeling. It gives True Sight, deals up to 1075 damage, and also burns mana. What? It does that? Why does nobody talk about this? Oh, right. Because it's 25% of the max mana if you get all of the 5 seconds. It's pretty much nothing early game and pretty much irrelevant late game, considering this should be used to be killing them, so their mana doesn't really matter. But really, Fiend's Grip is simply used so you can keep a guy locked down while you all chat Bane quotes. Do you feel in charge? Alright, okay, it's coming. So yeah, Bane wins his lane and then does nothing else. This has been true for years now. He stomps a lane, laning stage ends, and he can't farm anymore and he falls off unless... Well, I can't get to it yet. We need to set the scene. Start off with Fairy Fire and a Null Talisman. Or don't. You can also just start off with nothing. Start off with a Shiva's Guard recipe even. It honestly does not matter. You're not going to take her ass, and even when you do, you can just sap it back. The idea here is that you can turn up to a lane, enfeeble, pretty much ignore the dude, and just last hit while they watch. If you're running low on mana, get a Soul Ring, get Arcane Boots, but really, in a perfect world, we'd go straight from 0 to Hand of fucking Midas. I don't know why there was a build-up. You literally saw it with the first second of this video, but yeah. Midas is great. You can get it really, really fast, just like how a Viper can get it really, really fast, and afterwards you can branch out to any place you really want to go. You want to commit to this mid-bane? Sure, dude, pick up 6 slots of utility. Be this hero with a total of 9 distinct lockdown methods. Or maybe you wanted to build towards a specific item to counter that Storm or that Sven. Good! Go! You can get an Orchid, you can get a Rod of Atos, you can get a Halberd. The world is your oyster. You don't need items, you need levels, and the Hand of Midas is going to get you that, and then also give you the extra of having the ability to get the items. I personally go Ether Lens, Rotovatos, Glimmer Cape, Blink, any of these sort of things. The idea here is that we want to distance ourselves from being a walking ultimate as much as possible, because building our kit around a 100-second cooldown spell that can immediately be cancelled is setting yourself up for a massive fall. But really, this was all just one step in my master plan. The next step is ruining this game with no survivors. Hi there. This episode was brought to you by Gore Rocker, Foxy Fucking Loxley, Free Kill, Chris, 1996, Pearson Mewborn, The Adams and or Attack Crab, Allahu Dankbar, Lucas Cocone, Zena Penumbra, Mr. Revolute, Shadow Sweetheart, Jeff Miller, Carbon Bond, Ruger Mefleur, Haha, I saw these guys a whole month ago, Michael Robb, Mr. Magic, aka The Tones, Kaiser Wilhelm, Orslovik, Shiva's Guard, Lieutenant Papa, Red, English Breakfast Tea, Pro S, Procrastination Studios, Leonard, Yabis McGee, Soranok, XD, Christian Rudder, Milocott, Scar, Apache Murray wearing a headwear, neckwear nicknamed as Hatcrafter, Jim Bob the Son of God, Tsunami Shadow, Punith P, Rip Mitchell, Exato, Whimsy Shy Magic, Bruman, Emmy Dies Alone, King Gizzard, The Shitty Wizard, Herpa Duper, Doodaderp, Swaggity, Booty, Boot Boot D, Tugs McBoat, Slap a Leg, a Lamb on the Side for It, Redless, Zeframpilica, Kerosene, and 15. And yeah, that's it.